Hi, how are you? My name is Simba, and I'm going to be taking you through some mathematics. This is mainly for Zimbabweans. So we're going to start off with algebraic fractions, and I've taken this topic from algebraic manipulation according to ZIMSEC syllabus chapter 6.6.2. So we're going to start off with some fairly easy examples and questions, and then we'll develop into the harder ones. Usually, ZIMSEC examines algebraic manipulation every year, so you can't really hide away from getting to have a basic understanding of how they operate. So we'll look into greater detail in how we're supposed to calculate algebraic fractions, but in simple terms, the first thing that you're supposed to do is to look for the common factor. So you have to look for the common factor, and once you find the common factor, that's when you simplify. So these algebraic fractions, you have to find the common factor in the numerator and the denominator, and once you find the common factor, you then have to simplify it further. Other complex algebraic fractions require you to factorize either the numerator or the denominator, or you have to factorize both of them so that you're able to simplify the algebraic expression. So we're going to start off with this one here, number 1. So we have to first of all look for the common factor. So the common factor here, we look at the numerator, and then we look at the denominator, and then we try to figure out what's common. So as we can see, this expression x minus 4 is common both in the numerator and in the denominator. And since these two are the only ones that are common, we certainly have to cancel them off. So we then also have to identify if there's anything else that's common. From this expression, this was the only common factor in the two. So what we then simply have to do is to rewrite this fraction. So here we are left with x, and then on the denominator we're left with x plus 2. So in essence, we have simplified this algebraic fraction to this. So this becomes our answer. Now we can go on to the second one as well. The second one is a bit more complex, and this one requires us to factorize the numerator. So we've got x squared minus 5x. So we have to factorize the numerator first. So how do we factorize? We look again for the common factor. We have to find the common factor between these two numbers. So we have to look for the common factor. And the common factor here is x. So we write x. So how many times would x get into x squared? Or x squared divided by x, what do we get? We remain with x. And then minus 5x divided by x. The x cancels the other x, so we remain with 5. So in essence, we have factorized the numerator. Now we just have to go on and write the denominator as is. So this becomes fairly similar to the one that we had earlier on the first example. We have to then look at what's common in the numerator and in the denominator. The common expression that we have is x minus 5 and x minus 5 here. So we then have to cancel x minus 5 here and x minus 5 here. What we remain with is our answer, x over x plus 3. I really hope you got a basic understanding of how these algebraic fractions work. So in the next episode, I'm gonna introduce some expressions or algebraic fractions that require us to factorize, and then I also have to take some past exam questions from ZIMSEC so that we can spice it up a bit and get you going on algebraic fractions. Thank you so much.